Welcome to this episode of Texas Healthcare Talks, where we talk everything Texas healthcare over the last 25 years. With me today, I have the legend, wait for it, Derry Steve Rios, and the one, the only, Phil Ashmore. And I'm your host, Missy Masters. Thanks for joining us. I think I'm just now realizing in the last episode I didn't introduce myself. I've hit the status of everybody just knows me.
Though, so.
My bad. I got the important people, so.
I'll take it.
You heard that here first, folks.
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode. June is National Safety Awareness Month, and in that, we are in the personal injury business. We thought it only appropriate to talk a little bit of safety. I mean, not too much, because if there's too much safety, we don't have a job anymore. Job security goes right out the window.
We need some accidents.
Yeah. It's just we just need you not to be at fault and not to get too bad hurt. But if you are, you know where to go, who to call. So what I want to start out this episode by asking is, before you were a driver, or as you were becoming a driver, what was the best advice that somebody gave you, safety advice about driving?
Probably my mom saying, don't die. No, but I think that my first piece of advice in the sense of driving was probably to not do more than one thing and focus on the road. Like that was when our cell phones first came out. And my mom was so back in then, it was like, don't call me when you're driving in the car. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of times, our phones have become a crutch when it comes to personal injury. And a lot of these cases are happening because you're on your phone, you're texting or watching reels.
Right? Or, yeah.
And I just think that that's probably one of the biggest reasons, is to stay focused and off of your devices, or, anything, eating in the car or something, but just stay focused on the road.
Don't put your makeup on in the car, Steve.
Or balance your checkbook while you're driving.
Or a buddy of ours eat a bowl of cereal.
While balancing your checkbook while driving. That's not a good look.
It's multitasking. It's a skill set. Phil, what was the best advice you ever got?
All right. So when I first started driving, I got two different sets of advice. The first one was from my mother, and it was all about being safe, always watching out what's on the road, paying attention, the stuff you would think you would tell a 16-year-old. And then my dad, he had pulled me aside and he said, all right, so I got to tell you, when you're driving in Texas, one of the most important things is you have to learn how to be a defensive driver. And honestly, that is the one that holds so true, because people don't know how to drive. So being a defensive driver is huge.
So before I was allowed to even take my driver's test, my dad handed me a magazine that had an article in it, and he made me read it. And it was on the statistics of accidents caused by rear-end collisions following too closely. And so that was his big thing, was you don't ever tailgate, you don't follow too closely, because if they stop and you hit them, you are always at fault.
Right.
So it's your job as a driver to not follow too close, to leave enough space so that if something happens, another accident ahead of you, if you slam into that, you're at fault. And so that was the big thing. You can tell he is a personal injury doctor. It was a big,
that's good advice,
do
though.
not tailgate. That was the big, do not tailgate, because the accident will be 100% your fault. Now we have cars that brake for you and scare the hell out of you on the highway.
That is so real. Mine did that the other day, and I was like, whoa, that car is way up there.
Yeah, it's amazing how I have a friend that annoyed him so much he took it off his car, and a month later totaled his car.
Oh my gosh.
His fault, crashed into something. I'm like, leave it on. So, okay. I know you're probably a little bit over the games, but Phil and I came up with another game.
Not proud of it, man. Say it. I'm not good at these games.
Okay.
Steve is going to be on the clock again for a game.
Now, safety awareness, right? We don't just do car accidents, right? Personal injury can be a myriad of things that can happen. And so we're going to play real story or fake. Was this a real personal injury case? And just, spoiler alert, none of these are car wrecks, right? Okay. Real or fake, Steve? A man sues his apartment complex because the ceiling above him crashes down on top of him while he's taking a dump on the toilet.
Oh, absolutely. Somebody probably left the bathtub on, it overflowed, and it caved down on him. Poor buddy was taking a deuce and got a freaking ceiling fell on him. That's 100%. That makes sense, yes.
You are correct. That is, yes.
Let's go, baby. Nobody shuts me out.
Yeah, listening to this gentleman talk about how he could sense it was coming in, and he went to get up, but his pants were around his ankle, and
How about the fear?
Yeah.
You're just
Gosh.
handling your business, you know?
Gotta relax.
And then all of a sudden the ceiling comes crashing down on
While
you.
you're naked.
My gosh. Yeah.
Man, that's
not good.
That's a bad beat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not a good look.
Yep, that's okay. All right. Real or fake? A man sues an apartment complex after a squirrel flies out of his chimney onto his head, causing him to fall backwards into the coffee table in his living room that is pure glass. And so he turns into shredded ribbon of a man.
What state is this? Because Texas squirrels are not that crazy. If it was in New York, if you've been to New York squirrels are different. So if this is in Texas, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that's a fake one.
It is actually a true one.
Jesus.
And it was a great case because this guy had written numerous letters, emails. He had tons of documented correspondence between the apartment complex and himself saying, there are squirrels in this chimney, and they would not send an exterminator.
Oh, wow.
And he was literally trying to get video footage of it to prove that it was in there, and it came flying out. Not funny.
Both of these stories involve apartments. The key to this story is try to be a homeowner.
Okay, seriously, because how many times have we seen people sue
yeah.
apartment complexes,
yeah,
stairs fall, I mean, just you name
Stepping
it.
in sinkhole or stepping
Yes.
in manhole covers.
Oh,
Yep.
all the things, yes. Seen a lot of that. All right, next one. Real story or fake? A woman sues a big box real I can't say this word.
got this.
Retailer. Why is that hard to say? Big box retailer. So like think of a big box
your box
store.
truck, or-
no,
yeah.
box like a Walmart or a Target
Okay,
or a
okay, okay,
Sam's or a
okay,
Costco
okay,
or
I'm
a
there.
big box I can't say
Retailer.
retailer. Okay, new Missy needs speech therapy unlocked. When a crock pot falls off the top shelf and strikes her in the head, knocking her unconscious.
Ooh. Man, that sounds like very doable. Especially with the way grocery store, and I did work at a grocery store, and whenever we put stuff up, we didn't put it up the best.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that's real.
I'm just listening to you, and I'm thinking, how many of these grocery stores have these teenagers that come in and
Oh,
stock,
yeah.
right? They don't give a crap.
No.
Like, oh, this goes up here, toss it up there, right? Is it
Yeah.
secure?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yep. So that is another true story. I would say right behind apartment complexes, we see big stores sued for wet stuff on the floor and somebody slips and falls. So fun story, did you guys know that I actually slipped and fell and hurt myself so badly as a teenager that I had to have surgery, but I did not know what personal injury was at the time. Like, and my dad wasn't there when this happened, and then I went away to college, so he didn't really know how bad my injury was, and ended up having to have surgery. Did I ever tell you guys
I did
this?
not know this story. No.
So I was in a restaurant that shall remain nameless, and I was walking back to the buffet. It was around the buffet, and somebody had kind of spilled something by the buffet, and this teenager was mopping the floor, which I didn't see him. The floor did not look wet, and he had not put up a sign that said caution wet floor, so I had no idea the floor was wet. I had on a baseball cap like you're wearing with my ponytail pulled through the back, right? So that in and of itself with all my hair through the back should have kept the hat on my head. I fell so hard when I landed that the hat flew the whole way off my head and ponytail and all. But I landed with my wrist funky.
Oh.
And I mean, it hurt, but my dad's a chiropractor. I got an adjustment, I had a bruise on my butt, whatever. And I went away to college. And over the next few months, I developed a very large ganglion cyst on my wrist from where I had, impacted it. Ended up, I still have the scar from surgery. But I went to a specialist in the state that I'm out of Texas. This happened in Texas, but I went to see a specialist on my health insurance. Never filed a lawsuit or anything. Because when I say the minute I hit the floor, that teenager grabbed a caution sign and threw it out.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately. It was like, quick, gonna get in trouble. I just wanted an apology because my butt hurt. But and my wrist didn't even hurt as bad as my derriere did. But the hand surgeon said it was the largest ganglion cyst he'd ever had to surgically remove. So I had to do rehab in the whole 9 yards. But yeah, when you don't know your rights, I think about that. I was like, man, I paid for that surgery, like thousands and thousands of dollars for that surgery because even copay deductible, I wish I had.
At least talk to somebody.
No joke.
I mean,
Somebody
that's
else
what I
had been
tell
on the
people all
hook.
the time, man. If you get into a situation where it was out of your control, at least, talk to
Ask.
somebody.
Yeah, call somebody and ask. There's no harm in asking the questions. All right, last one. You ready? Is this real or fake? A lady files a lawsuit against a weather station because they said it was going to be a beautiful, clear, amazing day.
Oh, this is amazing.
And
I
it
hope this is
wasn't,
real.
and it rained all over her, and she was not prepared, and it caused emotional damage.
Man, that is crazy because weathermen in Texas are always right. Oh, man, that can't be real.
Well, it's not real in terms of it didn't happen in this country, but it happened in another country.
It happened in another country.
Yep.
Way.
Sure
yeah.
enough.
So yes, all
she
of these
sued
were
them
real.
because of
It's
the
a rigged
weather.
game.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Well, and we've seen some absolutely crazy stuff in almost 26 years of doing this. Phil, do you have a favorite PI story you can think of?
Yeah, mine is going to be along the serious note, though. So obviously, we deal with, in the past 25 years, we've seen a lot of traumatic injuries, traumatic crashes, crazy stories. Somebody hit a cow one time, which was a wild one. But the one that was like the most impactful for me was we actually treated a family, and a brother had come in and had lost his sister in the accident. And just to see the way that we were able to gather around this family and provide care and support, and just really have the right people to love on them and get them through their injuries, it's just one of those stories that I will never forget. So if you talk about like one of my favorite PI stories, it has to be that.
Well, interesting that you mentioned that because June's not only National Safety Awareness Month, it's also PTSD Awareness Month. And the single biggest cause of PTSD in the general population, so this doesn't involve military or war or any of that, just average Joe population, is involvement in car wrecks.
I believe it.
And so
I drive so slow because I almost died on 635 because I spun out, and ever since then, I don't drive fast anymore.
yeah, it is legit. Got to be aware. Yeah,
for sure.
You have a story that sticks out for you?
Yeah,
You don't have to be as somber as Phil. It's not a requirement.
Sorry about that, guys.
This is a crazy one. Probably about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago at this point, and I made friends with this like 65-year-old bartender, and she's a sweetheart. And so I get a phone call from her, and it was weird that she was calling me, and it was like probably like 9 a.m. And I answer the phone, and she's like in kind of distress, and I'm like, what's going on? She's like, oh, man, I got in a wreck. I was like, all right, well, just get all that. She goes, no, like it was a minute ago. It's still in the car. And I was like, oh, my gosh, get off the phone with me, call the cops, and then call me back. Well, she got off the phone. She got all the information. We took care of her. She treated with us. She was older. We took extra good care of her, took care of her. And that was just a crazy like PI moment for me. Like she was in the car minutes, like seconds after she got in the wreck. And she said, I got to call Steve Rios. And we took care of her. Thankfully, she's still dealing with it. I mean, because of her age and the impact of the car. But for her to call me while she was inside the car was wild.
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah.
I think the craziest one for me, dog bites. People don't realize, like, we've taken out thousands of stitches. Usually somebody gets bit, they go to the ER, they get stitched up. We get them, the stitches are healing over because they, like the scabbing over and healing and have to come out. So I don't particularly care for the removing of the stitches part myself, but I think what was crazy is I've seen the gore, I've seen the pictures, all of it, and then right around Christmas last year, we had one of our employees that was attacked by a dog, and that made it so much more real. Like seeing the pictures of somebody I worked with day in and day out, seeing the impact and the trauma to them, that was like, whoa. But I was so grateful we were able to help them because I don't know prior to that person working here if they would have had the understanding that they had rights and what to do, or if they just would have sucked it up and gone about their day. And I guess this is just really bad luck. And no, you're responsible for your dog. And if your dog attacks somebody, you need to take care of the damage the dog causes.
And what's crazy is I tell people, this is another thing I tell people, is it's not ambulance chasing. Like
No.
it's a big stigma of what we do and our clients, like how they take care of people. You do have rights. And if somebody does something that they're negligent for, you have rights to take care of yourself. And, even your insurance is not going to take care of you the way somebody else can fight for you. So let somebody else be an advocate
100%.
for you. Let them fight for you.
So as you guys are saying that, it just makes me think, for the most part, most people, like even if you were to poll the general population and you were to ask them questions about car accidents, and what would they do? What would be your next step after this? We've done this with externs, people who've been in car accidents, and I'll start asking them questions. Like I'll say, hey, who here has been in a car wreck? They'll raise their hand. And then when you start asking them questions, what was the next step? What did you do? Who did you call? All of this, there is a lack of education as a
huge.
whole in the general
Huge.
population. As a matter of fact, we should do a podcast on that.
Yeah.
Just
that's a good
Yes,
call.
education, know
your
your
rights.
rights.
Yeah. And it's okay if you don't, but don't do anything until you talk to somebody, and don't wait to talk to somebody. Call us.
And don't sign anything. Don't sign anything. And
don't
even-
verbally agree to anything. Don't say
make any
anything.
statements.
Yeah,
If-
keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, just you've got rights.
Yes.
Know your rights before you make a decision on how to treat yourself.
100%. And it being it safety, right? I think one of the things that you have to really be aware of in the DFW area is it's not if you're going to get in a car wreck, it's when, and you should have a plan, and you need insurance. And I know that sounds crazy, but the uninsured population, which it's not supposed to exist, but it does, you have to have uninsured, underinsured. That I can't tell you how many people got hit by somebody badly injured, and if they hadn't had uninsured, underinsured, there would be nothing there for their medical.
Yeah.
And it's just
real
not
quick,
great.
just so everybody understands how bad that can actually get, you will have people that will go out there and they will sign up for a policy. They will make the first payment. They will get the insurance card. So they're carrying an insurance card around in their car, but then they never make another payment. So if they get in an accident, sure, they may exchange insurance information with you, but it's not an active policy. And that happens more than you can think.
Oh, 100%. And if you're not being thrown into the back of an ambulance after the accident, take pictures of license plates, get a picture of their insurance, get a picture of their driver's license. Like, don't. I just read something on Facebook in my local town where I live where the insurance was exchanged and the cop had everything and it's gone and she has no information. And don't leave it to chance.
And on the flip side too, if you are one of these people that you maybe accidentally didn't pay a bill or whatever, and you do still get rear-ended by somebody with insurance and you don't have insurance during that time, also don't get bullied by these people, because if it wasn't your fault, I'm not saying don't have insurance, but you still have rights if you don't have insurance and somebody hits you.
That's correct.
So just know your rights.
100%, which is why know our number and call us. Don't hesitate. Like, don't even hesitate for a second. Anything else you guys want to say as far as safety awareness goes? That because, let's phrase it up this way, because I'm in personal injury, and I'd say mine is because I'm in personal injury, I carry the max uninsured, underinsured because of the things I've seen. But I cannot walk up or down apartment stairs without really checking the structural integrity of the apartment stairs. It's like one of my big fears is going through the stairs at the apartments, because I've seen that. I've probably seen 50 different injuries from that over the 26 years I've worked here.
So, that you having the underinsured, uninsured is because of your experience of seeing it on the other side, right? Knowing that if somebody just carried a liability and then you see some of these traumatic accidents where a $30,000 coverage is not enough.
Oh, yeah.
It's not enough.
Oh, yeah.
And you need more. So it makes a ton of sense
Yeah.
to get that extra insurance.
And have the max PIP, personal injury protection. Have the max that you can. And I think it raises your rates maybe $10, but it's worth it just for cases like this. Be aware of your surroundings. If it's raining, be aware. The 18-wheelers around you, be aware of where they're at. Blind spots. If it's snowing, because it happens here in Texas, not like North Dakota.
like once a year.
But if it's snowing, be aware. Just know your surroundings.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode of Texas Healthcare Talks, Safety Awareness Month edition. If you or someone you know has been injured in the DFW area, please know your rights and call us. We can help. Stay tuned to our next episode. We can't wait to see you back. Thanks for joining. Bye.